can restart, they can rewind, fast forward, so that their attention can stay on the things that they need to, and they can do it in their time. So there are some needs like that that can be taken care of, I think, better with online functions. We at Arizona State University, we're very lucky. We have a very strong accessibility program, so that we are able to work with people to help us put things online to make them more accessible for people. So it's a fantastic thing. We actually have a law in the United States where we are required to make things accessible, and we do the best we can to make sure that's going on. At the University of Gondar, they're actually doing some really great things with online accessibility. So that's a group that you can work with or look toward too in Ethiopia. I hope that helps.
All right, so there is a question from Samuel, which has 3 questions, and I think they're all really great ones. So Elizabeth, the first one is, for which category of discipline does the LMS system best suited? And then the second question goes with that of practice activities, which include lab exercises, field experiments, and others which need personal presence and avoid EC or LMS systems for hard science, such as engineering, natural sciences. Is using an LMS the best approach? Is it a benefit or not? And then the final one was, with LMS or EC systems most suitable for students who have a good communication infrastructure. So the infrastructure question of how does this work with low bandwidth? So Elizabeth.
In terms of which discipline, I think the LMS is flexible enough to meet any discipline. You're right, there are some of those hard sciences where there does require in-person presence. And ASU's kind of tackled some of those for fully online. So it is possible, but I think for for our purposes with Ishi right now, fully online is not even what we're talking about. So for those hard science classes where that in-person presence and like conducting experiences, labs, you can still use a digitally enabled course. It's just the other things you would do in that online space. So again, just using the grade book, you could report the grades, that use those staff graded assignments to report the grades for those labs in the digitally enabled course. So even for those kinds of things, you still could do an online discussion where you talk about, hey, in lab today we blew up a Bunsen burner. I don't know anything about science, but hey, what did we do wrong in lab? And so you could have that discussion online and use kind of that online space to enhance what you're doing in class. So again, digitally enabled isn't about replacing what you do in person. It's about enhancing it and providing additional activities. So I think that is one of the ways for that. In terms of the tools, if there are different communities of practice that will if you start Googling like open educational resources for your particular discipline, so say you're doing physics, we just at ASU just opened an fully online physics class. And so there are resources out there for some of these. I know of a couple where there's like simulations on physics principles. And so those kinds of things are out there. They're open resources, free for use for anybody anywhere, where you could embed those into the platform and you have your students go and practice those kinds of things. So my answer is any discipline. And remind me the second question. I think it just went right out of my head about, sorry, I forgot what question was, Christy.
Oh no, you answered it. It was about
okay.
like the hard sciences and if
hard sciences. Okay, great.
And if going online is really the best thing, and you've answered that, how it can be done. At the same time, it is good to do them in person, and that the LMS can help supplement that. So
yeah,
if
hybrid
miss something, or they can, research and be prepared when they come to do those hard things, they're ready. And then the last one was about the infrastructure.
Infrastructure. Yeah, it is. Not going to lie, it is a challenge. The infrastructure can be a problem, and I know this is one of the things that this initiative is working on, is that infrastructure on campus. So again, at the moment, the platforms not trying to, fully replace the in-person experience. It's a supplemental at this point. So having the students on campus, accessing in the computer labs, accessing Ishi through the campus, the existing campus infrastructure, I think has been one of the things, using the on-campus Wi-Fi is for now the focus, using those kinds of infrastructure. We have the LMS, so that LMS system is available for use. So that part of the infrastructure is answered. And I think solving the larger Wi-Fi from being able to do this from home, that's a challenge for a different webinar and different topic. But I think those are there so that people can, in fact, address those.
And I want to add on with that with Ishi is using OpenEdX. That is the same platform we use on Baobab, and Baobab is accessed across the African continent. And so it does work really well for low bandwidth. And then there's lots of things we can do around it. And so just know that it does work, and we know it works. And then someone asked a question if we could do any courses that prepare for like employability, like the soft skills. And yes, we can. We have those available. They're already on our sister project Baobab. And so, yes, we can see about bringing some of those over. Just kind of let us know in the feedback what exactly those courses are. So we give you what you want and not what we think you want.
Yeah, I do. If you haven't been on Ishi yet, we have study skills courses. We have courses about learning online. We have time management courses. We have a course about academic integrity. So learning on how to do citations and kind of not plagiarize. We're about to launch a whole new series of courses called Digital Learning Skills. So we'll be expecting those to release in the next week or so, I think. So I know we've kept you a little bit past our planned end time. So we will be answering the rest of these courses and curating kind of a resource page so that we'll have a kind of a coherent location for all of those questions. The system, I think, is going to share a survey with you when you exit the webinar, but if you just, I'm going to provide the link here. We really do crave your feedback and ask for you to complete the survey for us, so kind of we can get some feedback on what else you'd like to learn from us. And I think, David, you might have a couple other points to raise.
Yeah, I think I would just say thank you everyone for joining the session today. And I've seen some questions on the chat related to the masterclass training and going through the TOT level. I shared the email, the IEI training email. Please reach out to us and we'll be able to answer any question related to masterclass training as well as becoming a TOT in different institutions. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining today's session. We'll be having a series of webinars. Please stay tuned for the upcoming session, and thank you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
All right, I'm going to end the webinar now. If I can find the button.